Hey, what's up? You're listening to Faces of the District. I'm Matt, and we're here at Core Life Chiropractic. We're getting ready to interview Dr. Patel and her amazing staff. But first, I need an adjustment.
Hi, I'm Dr. Pooja Patel with Core Life Chiropractic.
Are you from Cleveland?
My husband is.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And where's he, like, from Shaker? Or
North
just...
Royalton.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I've been meeting so many people from North Royalton.
Really?
Yesterday,
That's so
I think, yesterday I met the guy who does all the drone pilot stuff in Cleveland.
No way.
Actually, yeah.
It's from North Royalton.
He's from there. So that's really cool. So how did you meet him?
We met online dating.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where were you before that?
Before that, I was in Atlanta for chiropractic school, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And what school was that?
Life University
Okay.
in Marietta, Georgia.
Oh, wow. That's so funny. Total sidebar. Our marketing manager, Julia, just moved there.
What a small world.
From here.
To Marietta, Georgia?
Yeah.
It's a small
Yeah,
world.
her dad got a
indeed.
job, and, she's working for us, graduated, but, everyone wants to
Yeah.
be close. So
Yeah.
I get that. It's really
I know. And
Go.
especially if she can do what she's got to do from there, why not?
Exactly. Yeah,
You
I
know?
told her, I was like, please, like, go be with your family.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. So were you from Atlanta? Like, why did you end up in Atlanta for school?
So I went to Atlanta for school because Life University is the largest chiropractic college in America
Oh, really?
and one of the best chiropractic colleges in the world.
Mhm.
I am from Florida, the Panhandle originally,
Sure.
and it was just a 5-hour drive to Atlanta
Okay.
to go to school, and it was kind of close to family, and so I
Right.
chose. It kind of worked out in two different ways.
That's so cool.
Mhm.
And what was it like in Atlanta at Life College?
You know, it was very interesting. A lot
Mhm.
of lifestyle changes because when you learn about what health really is.
Sure.
And then we learn, we all are programmed to have this medicine drawer in our homes when it's like, wait, that's covering up symptoms. What can we do to actually take care of symptoms?
Sure.
So it was a whole different reprogramming of rewiring of the brain.
And what led you into wanting to go? I mean, going to that school, you knew you wanted to be a chiropractor. Like, what would have led you to that?
Yeah, I always knew I wanted to do something in healthcare. I knew I wanted to do something in healthcare, but I did not enjoy being in a hospital setting when I was interning there, and I did not enjoy shadowing dentists when I thought I wanted to go into dentistry. And then it reminded me of a time when I was younger in my life and my mom had excruciating low back pain to the point where they even recommended surgery. She was
Wow.
on pain medications, depression medication, sleep medication. And finally, it was a chiropractor that helped her get out of all of that, and she lost a ton of weight.
Oh, wow.
And to this day, she is off of all of her medications and still goes under regular chiropractic care.
Sure. So it was that. Was it just that experience that sort of inspired you, or was it that doctor in particular?
It was the experience itself, because when I found myself interning in the hospital, I just did not enjoy walking into this large building and seeing patients kind of just be hooked up to machines and
Sure.
on medications. And I remember every time we'd go to the chiropractic office, people would come in and they'd leave that office feeling better and smiling, and everyone was just so bubbly and happy.
Sure.
And that's kind of, I thought, what if I went into this and I could create that for myself? And that's kind of what I've done here in Shaker.
That's so awesome. So, what was, I guess, were you always into more of the holistic path, or was it college that really opened your eyes to, like, oh wow, this could really help
It
a
was
lot of
college
people?
that opened my eyes to it. Prior to that, I had really not known much about what chiropractic truly does and how it can help. And
Sure.
I see that now, because prior to this, you're experiencing pain, I would have taken a pain medication.
Right.
Or
Right.
put on a
Headache,
muscle
take
rub.
Tylenol,
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
And so, how did you meet your husband? Like, what is he also a chiropractor?
No, he works at the Shaker Heights High School.
Oh, that's so cool.
We started online dating We met through an app,
Right.
and
You told me that.
it was going really well. So we decided to meet up, and he came down to Atlanta to meet me while I was still in school. And yeah, we've been together since. And then I came to Cleveland to see him, and we thought this is gonna work.
Nice.
And one of us had to make the move, and it ended up being me because he was already established here in Cleveland.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife's from Omaha. I had her move here.
Oh my gosh.
And then Emily, we convinced her to move here as well.
Was she from Omaha as well?
Yeah.
There was.
Yeah, so it's cool. As a kid, I'm from Cleveland, and it's very interesting.
Where in Cleveland?
Lyndhurst.
Lyndhurst, okay.
Yeah, so Shaker Heights was very
Yeah.
known to me. But it's just like, I always thought everyone's from Cleveland.
Yeah.
Like, every single person I know, they must be from Cleveland. And it's like, none of my friends are from Cleveland. Every single person in Shakers just has this immense, diverse background that's like so cool.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
We've gone out of country before. We were in Korea.
Oh my God.
All places Korea, and I didn't bring a jacket because it was a layover, and we were on our way to India, and I didn't realize Korea was like 30 degrees in December. I had no idea.
Right, you don't.
So my husband was kind, gave me his jacket, so he's wearing a Shaker shirt. This
Right.
guy knows him from
Right.
Shaker. I'm
It's so wild.
and then the same thing happened when we were in Greece. Somebody saw his little tag with Cleveland. They're like, I'm from Cleveland.
Right.
Oh, what?
That seems to be a theme. I was talking to the owner of Cleveland Clothing Company.
Yeah.
And I was telling him how whenever I'm out, like I'll be in anywhere, Austin, Texas, LA, you see people with his t-shirts on.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and you're like, hey, you from Cleveland? I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
It's
just
such
wild.
a small world.
Yeah, it really is. So
Yeah.
what was there anything that like stuck out to you from school that like was really defining, or a teacher or something like that you remember that was like, okay, we're really on the path here?
There were so many moments like that in school. A lot of inspirational testimonials that were shared because many of the professors had practiced in chiropractic prior to becoming professors there at the college, or they were in practice in addition to being professors there. And just seeing case studies and hearing the testimonials
Right.
is something in itself. Just very inspiring.
Sure. And did you have the opportunity to work directly with people who were giving those testimonials, or was it just sort of the professors talking about them? And
We did eventually when there was student clinic, which came a little bit later, where
Sure.
you got to work on students. But after student clinic, you got to work in outpatient clinic, which was on the campus, and patients would come onto the campus for a discounted rate and
Right.
let you practice on them. And there were actually testimonies throughout
Right.
that clinic
That's
where
so cool.
patients would say they're feeling great and how it's helped with this many years of this debilitating pain. And then after that, we got to go out to intern for 6 months
Okay.
at clinics that would accept us as an intern. So we got to see some of the testimonials firsthand after that.
Sure. And sort of fast forwarding to your business today, what are some of the services and things that you're providing?
Sure. So we of course have corrective chiropractic care. We do spinal decompression, where we help low back pain using a non-surgical technique where we have a special table that decompresses the spine and tractions the spine to help bring fluid and nutrients to the spine. We have neuropathy, where if you have burning, tingling in your hands and your feet, cold hands and feet, lack of coordination and balance, so pain for peripheral neuropathy. We have a whole program for neuropathy, I should say. We see prenatal patients for pregnancy. We see newborns for things like constipation, acid reflux, difficulty latching and turning their heads. We see geriatric patients
Wow.
for mobility, for longevity in their day-to-day activities. A lot of them around this time of the year are ready to play golf and want to be
Sure.
on their A golf game. And we see a vast variety of patients. Oh, we also see patients for what we call leaky gut. Leaky gut is where the lining of the gut has over time thinned, and viruses, bacteria seep through into the bloodstream and can wreak havoc and cause things like irritable bowel and fatigue and just food sensitivities.
Right. And you see that is so common these days. where
So
it's like,
common.
I don't remember people having some of these issues when I was a kid or being gluten free,
Yeah.
and maybe there's someone who didn't know and they're sick all the time or something, but it's just like so prevalent.
It's very prevalent. Yeah.
And I guess no one ever connects those things to chiropractic.
No, they
Care, I
don't.
guess.
And that is because not every chiropractor does these things, but it is definitely a niche that I have done additional training in to learn how to treat, to offer to those that need it.
And is there a different sort of level or a different certification or title that you have that is different from just
You can
someone who's not offering this?
Yeah, so you go, there's different specialty, additional classes that you can take and programs that you can get into for that to learn about these conditions and how to effectively treat them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I saw on the internet, and it's hard to tell what's real or what's not,
Yeah.
but there's these workout videos where they tape in slow motion and they go on the pull-up bar and they decompress their back, and you could see their back decompressing.
That's really cool.
Is that real?
You know what? The weight of their own body is slowly decompressing their spine. So yeah, it is real.
Wow.
And that's kind of similar to what our decompression table does.
That's amazing.
But here's the thing, if a patient's in pain, they can't decompress their spine. That's why it's so cool, because they just get to lay there while the table does the work for them once we set them up on it correctly.
Yeah. And I've wanted to do that, but I just have nowhere to do it. I feel like that's not safe. I could probably hurt myself.
Yeah, monkey bars are different when, or pull-up bars are different when we're adults.
Yeah, right? So I just thought that was really interesting. So how do some of these things work when, because you mentioned like the cold feet and things like this. Like I actually do oftentimes, like my whole body will be really, really warm, but my feet will be cold. And so how are you solving that?
Number one thing to do is test if it is actually peripheral neuropathy. If you oftentimes just say you went to your medical doctor and told them what you were experiencing, if there were symptoms in addition to the coldness, they might just off the bat prescribe you gabapentin.
Right.
Or they would send you to a neurologist that would do some testing where they put these needles along your legs and feet.
Sure.
And they would see if you had peripheral neuropathy. And then guess what? They would prescribe you that same medication more than likely. And so we do a little bit further in-depth testing where we test over 16 different stimuli, hot, cold, small prick. And we see exactly how much peripheral neuropathy loss that you have.
Right.
Is it something that I can even treat? And then we figure out the root cause, and then we custom build out a plan to solve it from that point on.
Sure. Very cool. And do you have patients or people that are sort of nervous? Like, you have that sort of like stigma with dentists, like people are so scared to go to the dentist.
All the time.
Do you encounter that?
All the time.
So what do you say to them?
I comfort them where they are, because there is a lot of scary content out there, and there is a lot of bad with the good.
Right.
Yeah, and in every industry, not just chiropractic or dentistry. So some of them came from a bad experience, or some of them have been scared and nervous. So I just always take the time to educate and walk through every single thing that I'm doing and not rush the patient, so they feel very comforted and at ease. And at the end, they're like, oh, that was great. And
right.
They almost always have relief.
Sure.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, it's probably really hard to break down those barriers.
It is. It's tough. I've had patients that have been coming to me for over 8 years for maintenance care, and sometimes even they get tensed up on the table,
right?
Because they're nervous and they have to work at making their body relax.
Sure. Very cool. So how long have you been in business?
I have been in the Shaker Heights location for 5 years now. And prior to that, I was practicing as an associate for a group of doctors down in Mansfield. And that was since 2014.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So is this the 5th year anniversary?
This is the 5th year anniversary at the Van Aken District.
Guys, come check out Dr. Patel. It's her 5th year anniversary. We want you to celebrate with her. That'd be amazing. So how would you describe the Shaker community? I mean, you've been here for 5 years now. You have a sense of how it goes. How would you describe it?
truly how I feel. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. No, honestly, we love Shaker. We're here because we love Shaker. My husband's worked here for almost 10 years now, and he was the convincing factor.
Sure.
And I have really enjoyed being a part of being in Shaker, and especially the Van Aken district. It's just a fun area. We love the market hall. We get to see such a variety of patients thanks to also having, easy access to the bus station right in front of us and the RTA. Right. We are really close to Cleveland, but also Beechwood and Warrensville and University Heights, and we have patients all the way from Willoughby. So we get to hit a large variety of patients from the east side and the Midwest side, I guess I can call it. Not necessarily Rocky River, but like Independence, Valley View,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. And is it typically a doctor referring someone, or is there triggers that people should be looking out for that maybe they would want to reach out?
Yeah, so we have had doctors absolutely refer to us when they have a patient under their care that they know they've maxed out on improvement or the medications aren't working, which is always fantastic to get a referral from MDs.
Right.
But then we also have patients that kind of come to us as a last resort.
Okay.
And these are patients that I've never considered chiropractic care, but now they're in pain and they really want to see, is there anything else left I can do? So let me try them as a last resort. And unfortunately, that is often the case. But it's great because then I get to meet these patients, help them where they're at, truly get them out of pain without even needing medications or helping them get off of medications.
Right.
And then they're converted to wellness patients.
Right. And do you notice that people usually find like back pain as their trigger to come see you?
Yeah, the common triggers to come see us are back pain, mid-back pain, neck pain, and headaches and migraines.
Right.
And hip pain.
But you offer so much more. We'll actually put the full list of services right here. Full services, you just saw them right there. Definitely, if you're in any sort of pain, any of those services or symptoms that you're experiencing, please see Dr. Patel. It was really awesome speaking with you. I've gotten to know you now over several occasions, and it really seems like you have a very warm and open, sort of welcoming place. I definitely felt it, and so
Thank you.
I'm sure your patients who are in pain probably feel it a million times more. So thanks again for having the conversation with me, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.